Okay, this is Farm Fresh here. I'm going to give this a try. My son says that my camera does videos. I don't know if I've ever done it before. This is the front of my house on this nice lovely day in February. And this is the giant pile of snow that we now have on our sidewalk from cleaning out our sidewalk. This front wall is where I have tomatoes a lot of times planted along the front wall. And if I look up into the thing, there is my fruit cocktail tree is the first tree, and the second little shrubby looking tree behind that is my Latham cherry, and then this is my Reliance peach in my house, and my front bed is where I have peppers and things, although you can't tell it now. And let me take another step or two here. Walk it in too easy. Along my sidewalk, I usually plant okra and beans and different things like that. And then in the very, very front there you can see sticking up a poor little pitiful green thing. That is the last of my Brussels sprouts. There's a raised bed there. And then in between the cherry tree and the fruit cocktail tree there's a planting bed. And then I also plant things at the front of the house on both sides, right in the front, little planting beds. So this is the front half of my garden. Okay, we're going to try this again. This is a little bit different angle. This is standing up by the front porch and looking down. There's the cherry tree, fruit cocktail tree. That little stub thing by the stump is actually the leftovers of a Hanson bush cherry, which doesn't really produce anymore. It's kind of past its prime. This is rose bush, and little planting bed is in here in the summertime. The trellis, which needs desperately to be redone. I grow cucumbers and things over that. And you can see my front beds. There's a Reliance peach, and my pick-em-up truck, a butterfly bush, and over here's another planting bed. If I step up on my front porch, okay, you can see my container pots that are awaiting summer. They're all just kind of in a heap, and right now I'm using that as my bird feeding station, so that's what that mess is over there. Okay, we're going to start from right here. That's D2's house, and that's my house. So that's how far apart we are in this lovely, beautiful city in which I live. In this corner, we have a Niagara grape that has been here for almost 20 years now, since we first moved into this house, and produces well every year. You can see I've got some surprise lilies and things like that attempting to come up through the heaps of snow. In this heap, I have actually two rose bushes. I have an All-American Beauty and a Queen Elizabeth that are planted in the same hole, so they climb up my chimney, look kind of cute in the summertime. And then in this area is where I have my mints, different mints, peppermints, spearmints, lemon balm, and all my mints growing. And it's literally between, like I say before, rock and a hard place, which is my driveway. Another bird feeding station for the winter time. You can see a little bit of the lemon balm sticking up there in the winter. We keep on traveling down, and yes, my house was built in 1928, and we have a coal chute still. So this is my back porch. These are two of my little Muttley companions. And this is a grape that was supposed to have been a Concord, but it's not, and I'm not really sure what it is. But it produces pretty good seeded grapes every year. And my jacked up fence. And we continue on, and this is the winter situation for the back garden. This is my back 40. I call it that because it's about 40 foot wide and a little over 40 foot deep. We live really, really, really in the city. As you can see, there's my neighbor's house, and more houses, and more houses, and more houses everywhere. This is Sage and Cassie showing off for the camera. Sage being the giant, of course, hairy one that you've seen a million times, and Cassie being his smaller but older half-husky companion. Again, this is the chicken run, and this is my garden space during the summertime back here too. This is my city bitty hen house with some of my hennies in it. There's one right now sticking out. She's a Delaware. And this is where they all live. I'm going to open it up. Be prepared. It's going to be dirty. Here's some more containers. This is winter dirt and winter hens. In there, some of them are in the nest box. That's my girls. I'm going to start this part of the thing from looking in from the outside with the winter dirt and all. These guys haven't been cleaned up lately, but they have been working busy for me. This is some of my girls. I have 6 girls all together. They don't all have names. That's a Delaware looking at ya. The one back there with the speckles is, her name's Coconut. She's one that does have a name. The kids all named her. And a couple of the black sex links. And they're happy talking to you. This one's particularly personable. She always wants to get petted and stuff, so there she is. We're gonna see if my Dominique and one of my Delawares is gonna brave the snow and travel over to their little sun porch area. It's awfully scary walking on this white snow. Oh, horrible, horrible. But if they make it all the way over there, they've got a nice sheltered area. And they can play and have some sunshine, which I think is very important to keep egg production up in the wintertime. My chickens do not have heated coop. They just keep it heated by their own body heat. And of course this time in February it really needs a good scrubbing of the whole thing, but it works to do what it needs to do. Here she goes. Can she make it? Whoa! Let's fly there, because running is too cold and makes our feet freezy. Crazy things. I have to keep stopping and starting this because I can hardly walk, as we know. This is just all, everything's all smashed down because of this giant snowstorm we had, and we got more coming. I call this their patio out here. You can see that they have a little outside area that's protected that they can play in the winter time when it's nasty like this, and they really like to take advantage of it. You can't probably even see them in there, but that's a little protected area that they can get in. There's another little arc back here that's tarped in and so forth. I give them the run of this little chicken spot, even though it's not a very big spot, because this is my garden spot in the summertime, so they get to poo and eat weed seeds and make a general mess all winter long in it, and then in the summertime it's really good for growing things in. I started off by bedding it down with real deep straw. You can see what's left of the straw. It's all chewed up quite a bit. This is my grape arbor. I have a Reliance seedless grape on this one, and it does really, really well. And then over here against this nasty garage is where the chicken coop sits in the summertime. I'll have to come back and see that again someday. Again, I'll try to turn around here and see if we can get a load of these dogs. They love the snow. Every now and then this husky part comes out. They're wrestling and rumping, having them a good old time. Cassie's about 9 years old, and Sage is about, well, he's a little over 2, so he was 2 in October, or like Halloween. Okay, that's all for now. I'll try to see if I can edit this and make it into something that's worthwhile. Bye. Hello, I thought we'd take another little tour. It's now the end of May, and this is kind of what we have going on at the old homestead. Pretty nice. My little irises. The little Homestead. These are iceberg roses. They're an own root rose, shrub rose. The front beds. So peonies were my grandma's, Grandma Nettie's. We got a Brussels sprout right there. The yellow flowers are Brussels sprouted in seed. And the tall phlox came from Grandma Nettie's also. And my fruit tree that had a whole big chunk of it having to be torn out of it this year because it died, which made me sad. And those are Latham's red raspberry. My little front garden's just barely getting started. And this is okra and bolati beans added along here. This is materials to work on my arch. Hopefully I'll get it rebuilt sometime this week. And kale and Swiss chard are my peach tree. Some more of my phlox. And there's some broccoli and some other things planted in there. We're past the point of purple tulips and lilacs. This is a mother's rose. It was planted in honor of my mother-in-law when she passed away. I have ancho pepper and lime tree. And these tomatoes all made it through the snow, which is good. This is looking back down the steps at the front. This little bed has some runner beans planted in it, and some peppers, and a volunteer fennel. It's a Queen Elizabeth rose blooming. We have daylilies that are not blooming yet. We have mint. This is mint in the May mode. Going pretty good. More grapes. And they're blooming pretty nicely. Lots of little baby grapes on them. And then we have big hairy dog. And back 40. Gotta get to the gate. We have chickens in summer mode. There they are. There's a grapevine. This is my back garden again. We're going to try to do some watermelons back here this year. We'll see how they do. Usually not very successful with melons. But we'll try again. And once again, big fat hennies. And long last, my black raspberry bush.